Hi, and welcome back to another video of the Target Individual program, the Target Individual Experience. So, lately, this is what has been happening again with the fireworks and everything. And so, last night, I didn't go home. It was late, I was tired, and, so I thought every time I thought about going home, they would start with the fireworks. Okay. Like literally, this is because again the remote dual monitoring. And like I said, for some reason there are times when they want me to be here by Pam because whatever narrative or whatever it is that they're trying to do, right? So they'll try to keep me here and they'll use her to try to manipulate me into staying here. And then there are other times when, okay, I'm like, all right, things seem to be going good between me and her. Um, and then when those times happen, all of a sudden, they start sending me subliminal message about leaving. Like, for example, every time I would enter into the bedroom, it would be a police siren going off. So yesterday, right, we were watching a movie and she was doing like all these kind of hand signals. And I think, like I said, I think they use her to run these tests, right, to see if when she sits next to me or she's next to me, if she's doing these hand signal, whether I would respond back to her by giving her hand signals also. Okay. And so all throughout the night, she was doing it. And then, there are times when I was like, okay, I wanted to leave. Then they would start using fireworks. Okay, because remember that video that I showed you guys? I did the video where I was walking home, then there was fireworks, and as I got to my block, there were gunshots. Okay, so again, this is how they try to condition you, the TI, into trying to condition me into this fear because it's the constant fireworks that's going off, right? And that one time when you actually heard the gunshots, right? That it, again using that sort of thing as a scare tactic, it's dark NLP, power of association, that sort of thing. Okay, so I stayed over here last night, and again all through the night. I think I went to bed like after 2, and they were like literally with the fireworks. Then I woke up around a little bit maybe after 4 because my daughter got up, and so I took her into bed with me and we fell back asleep. But when I got up, and she got up, when she got up first, she came into the bedroom. I got up, and this is like I said, after 4 in the morning. Immediately, they started with the fireworks again. So now, just now, I went into the fridge to take out my medication that I take once a month for my headache. Okay, and immediately after I took it out, because I need to let it warm for like 20 minutes or 20 something minutes or what have you before I can take it, right? I came and sat down, then the police siren, whoop whoop, and then that was it. Basically trying to intimidate me into not taking my medication, right? Because again, it is their narrative, because they want to be absolved from the psychological, neurological, physical damage that they cause us as TIs, because they don't want to be held responsible for what they have done to us. And if you look up what a coercive persuasion program is, it basically tells you that, right? That these people, the architect of these programs, do not want to be held responsible for the damages that they've caused to the victims. Okay? Therefore, they're trying to deny you any sort of restitution for the crimes that they've committed against you, right? For the damages that they've done to you, not just to you, but also to your family. Okay? This and your children, right? So when they're using these technologies and they want people to believe that this doesn't have any type of negative effect on people, why don't you go ask the American diplomats, right, who experience, right, the microwave attacks that they received in Cuba and China. Why don't you go ask their doctor? I have documentation, medical documentation. So it doesn't matter what they tell people, right? The damage that they've caused me has already been done, and then trying to insinuate that in a couple of years I'll be fine is ludicrous, okay? Because you cannot heal from a severe herniated disc with two pinch nerve, okay? And even if I had spinal operation, people who have those type of operations end up not even, the pain may go away, but a lot of times they don't even walk normal anymore. They still want to be able to do a lot of things that they used to do before. So this sort of thing that these people do, right? And we see this all the time. We see it when, they didn't remove lead paint from the housing projects within the black community, right? Thousands upon probably hundreds of thousands of children grew up in the 80s and 90s with lead poisoning. That affected their behavior, that affected their cognitive, skills, right? That caused all sorts of physical illness, mental illness within those individuals, right? And none of these people have ever been held accountable for these crimes that they've done. None of them. Experimentation on people, they're not held accountable. And this is what they continue to do. Do this without any fear of repercussion, any fear of having to give restitution to the victims. None of that stuff, right? So if they think that I'm going to be quiet while they run around doing what they do, while they basically invade my privacy, surveilling me wherever I go, right? Like, I can't even go in the damn fridge to take my medication without having the police, outside using their sirens to try to intimidate me to not taking my medication. Okay? This is the shit that these people do. And the fact that they have created this massive cult, it has to be exposed. We as targeted individual have to expose it. You hear them with the sirens? Yes. Because they are afraid when you speak the truth about what it is that they're doing, when you're making sense, when you're giving them the history, you're giving people the history of how corrupt, how evil that these people are. Wicked. Masquerading as law enforcement officers, law enforcement officials. They are, as KRS once said, they are a federally funded gang. Okay? Mafia mentality, terrorist organization. This is who they are. And we fool ourselves, right? Thinking that we as TIs fool ourselves when we think that the police are not involved when they're there to protect us. They're not there to protect us. The police are not there to protect anybody except for those with wealth and power. Okay? And with white skin, basically. Okay? So, again, we have to expose these things of what is that they do. And whenever they get family members involved in targeting you, expose them too. Expose your family members because they should know better. If you're a husband or wife, expose them also because they should know better. Your friends, what have you, expose them also because they should know better. Okay? Because we've seen this happen before. This has happened throughout history, and this is one of the fundamental things that we all need to know is history. We see it in East Germany, we see it in China, we see it in North Korea, we've seen it in Germany with the Nazis, okay? We see it during, through history within Europe, the Spanish Inquisition, all these type of holy wars where you have the state or the church basically creating cults, having people falsely accuse other people, you know, hanging them, doing all this other stuff. Okay? So the only difference today is that we are now living in modern times. That's basically it. Right? But the same things happen continuously. Right? And when good people remain silent, that is how evil persists. And these people are evil. Okay? Whatever they run around tell you that is good, 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 whatever, you need to ask yourself a question. Right? Ask yourself a few questions. Okay? If the police is doing all of this to an individual, why? Why? Right? If an individual is being investigated for a crime, why go through all of this? You get a warrant, you knock on the door, you serve the warrant, you arrest the person, and then you whatever. If you have the evidence or you're looking for the evidence, that's what you do. Why you continue to harass, torture an individual for decades, decades? Okay, talking about public safety. The police don't give a damn about public safety. You think they give a damn about public safety? You're asking the psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists to come and talk about public safety when they're the ones killing unarmed people, planting drugs, planting guns, lying to convict and send innocent people to jail. Okay? They should be the last people talking about public safety. They should be the last people talking about protecting innocent people. Because the majority of them are criminals. The majority. It isn't, a bad apple in a batch. Okay? The batch is rotten. And when you put a good apple in there, eventually that good apple is going to become rotten. And the only way you can do that to keep them from being rotten is to remove the good apples altogether and put them in a new batch where it's all good apples, okay? And you throw out the bad apples. And this is what needs to be done. Not just in the police departments, but in the government also. In the churches also. Peace out.